We don't have anybody here yet, but I ain't gonna worry about it. We're just gonna start. So, everybody, this is some of you know Sharon. You've seen a lot of work I've done with her, others don't. This is Sharon Reed, owner of RX Catering. She is it 18 or 19 years, Sharon?
19th year.
I'm not sure about what year did you start?
2007.
Okay, 2007 plus 19 is 2026, man.
I'm going into my 19th year
Not if you started in
completely.
2007. This is your
Well,
18th.
I'm back. 2007 is when it was finally like all the paperwork and everything.
Okay,
I started all this like behind the scenes and everything 2006.
perfect. So 19 years then, and that's actually the perfect introduction to what we're going to talk about today because a lot of people just found out that they're going to have to return to office. A lot of government workers really is not as maybe not as big a deal as the headlines because I talked to a friend of mine who's a government employee and they have unions. Uh, a lot of these government agencies have downsized their real estate since the pandemic started, so they don't physically have a place to put these people. And these union rules dictate that folks have to have a certain amount of space, working space, square footage, so they can't just like stack a bunch of people in the conference room. So this announcement that people have to return to the office, government workers have to return to the office, is not maybe as impactful as it may be. It sounds, but there's lots of people who are going to have to return to the office, and it's going to change their lives significantly because they've built a life around working from home. They got kids to take care of. Some people got kids and parents to take care of, and so for some of these folks, going back to the office is just not going to work for them. And some of them already had plans or a kind of a vision or vision board activity for starting a catering business. And so, what I want you to talk to us today about, Sharon, is how does somebody get started? If somebody has a 9 to 5 right now and they have a catering side hustle and they want to turn that into a full time business, how do they start?
Great question. And my math is mathing because a lot of the work, the reason why I say 19 years is because a lot of the pre work is so essential in starting up a business or a catering business specifically. In 2005 is when I was laid off from Pfizer. And when I say 2007 is when my business started, that's when I actually got all the documentation that you'll learn, once you start along this journey, is that all this is essential. And it didn't happen overnight. So it was a process of getting to that point. So in 2006, a lot of the research that finding the right company, finding the right, what I'm going to start off with is one, finding the right attorney and accountant. I always tell people that those are two people that definitely should be on your team when you're starting a business. And one thing that'll be in another episode is what I'm about to tell you is if you want to go the business partner route, we can talk about that and finding and selecting and having the correct documentation for that business partnership. Because the one thing that I started off in a business partnership and now I'm by myself. But like I said, that's a whole nother story. I had some documentations that the three of us actually had initially. And that's something that is essential if you're going to have partnerships in this journey that you're going to go along. So let's just get back to if you're doing it by yourself. Uh, the two people that I highly recommend if you're going to just start off preliminarily is, well, actually three. Two, one's going to be your accountant, one's going to be your attorney, and the other is going to be your banker. So all three of those relationships are essential. So let's start with the attorney. The attorney is so important and essential because that person, even though you could do it yourself online, there are so many ways that you can set up online an LLC. Uh, that's essential first. But your attorney can actually help you if you have the resources to go that route, is to have that personal attorney, because along the lines, even 19 years later, I still have a need for my attorney, and I keep her on retainer. And it's important because you're going to have certain documentation. I just had her actually look at a contract about 2 weeks ago for me, uh, about to get a, I want to lease another vehicle, or purchase. So I wanted her to look through some documentation, and he or she can guide you and make sure that you are set up for success, and make sure you're not signing a document that's going to get you in trouble along the way. And they're there to guide you and give you the best judge or best advice and better suggestions for you. And then your accountant, that's where the money is. You have to make sure that your accountant is on point. Now, I actually went through until I got my, I have, I think, one of the best accountants. I've referred him to other small business owners and they use him. Um, he was my third one that I got to out of this whole journey. And you have to have the right fit. You have to have the right person that's going to make sure that you are, one, filing appropriately. Since I operate in three different state or three different jurisdictions, I have Virginia, Maryland, and DC. Those sales taxes have to be filed in each state monthly. And so you want someone that is on top of the accounting laws, and that's not your job. I mean, that's not why you went to school. If you went to culinary school, if you went to college, or any type of training or schooling that you may have, that's not your expertise. So you leave that to the expert, which is my accountant and that firm. So that person is very important because you want to set up everything from the beginning on the perfect sheet of paper. And then also, I mentioned for the third person was your banker. So all this ties hand in hand. And I started off actually trying to get a loan in the way, way, way beginning. I don't know what I was thinking. It's very hard for small business owners to get capital and loans in the beginning unless you have established credit. So I went with one of the big bankers, which I thought was a great idea because, hey, I've been personally banking with them since I was in college. So since 1994, I was with Wells Fargo. And I quickly found out along the way that these big banks could care less unless you just have a ton of money to invest in them. So I've been with my current bank for, I wouldn't say 15 years, maybe 15 years, Atlantic Union. And they are a smaller bank. I mean, there are not many branches in the area, but what I do know is that when I pick up the phone or if I walk into my local branch, they know me personally. They know my voice on the phone. You want to essentially develop a relationship with your banker, and that's going to take you a long ways. So I'm going to pause just for a moment.
Man, that's you talk about everything except cooking, Sharon. I thought I wanted to start a catering business. I'm good at cooking. Everybody loves what I bring to the potluck, to the office functions. What's all this you talking lawyers and accountants and bankers and stuff, man?
I'm sorry, but that's all part of the whole business and the whole catering company. It's essential. I haven't even gotten to what's really important too, Lindsay.
To see the full conversation and get to join us live every week where you get to participate and ask questions, use the link in the description box to join the Cooking Show Accelerator. It costs nothing to join and it has everything you need to start your cooking show and turn it into a work from home business.